One of the greatest disconnects that happens in the world of marketing your business, your enterprise, is failure to recognize the difference between direct marketing and brand marketing. We're going to do a deep dive with one of North America's experts, Clay Hebert, with some thoughts on direct marketing and brand marketing here on the Reinvention Chronicles. In conversation with Clay Hebert. Clay, you're a North American authority on marketing, and today this is a chance for you and I to really explore and do a deeper dive on some of the most misunderstood aspects of marketing from a strategic point of view. And this doesn't matter if you're a small business or a Fortune 100 company. Right. I mean, there's basically two versions of marketing, as you and I both know: direct marketing and brand marketing. And what do you see in terms of the gulf that exists and the inconsistencies and some of the confusion out there over these two terms and how it applies to what people are actually doing?
Yeah, I see a lot of people dying in the gulf between brand marketing and direct marketing because they don't understand the difference between the two. Brand marketing, as you know, you and I talk about this and we've riffed about this offline. Brand marketing is mostly immeasurable. Brand marketing is a Super Bowl ad. Brand marketing is a billboard or a bus stop ad or potentially a radio or print ad. Brand marketing used to be all there was, right? In the 1950s, it was buy Tide, and then it worked because you went to the grocery store and there was only two types of detergent, Tide and the other one that you didn't see the ad for, so you bought Tide. So back then, brand advertising worked.
And brand over time just got embedded in the brain.
You just kept seeing it, yeah. Seth Godin says, Mercedes-Benz needs to show you brand marketing for 40 years so that when you're 40 years old, you trust the brand enough to spend that much on a luxury automobile. That is not because you got on Mercedes-Benz's email list and went down their funnel. That's, you and I play in both worlds.
Right.
Direct marketing is, again, to go back, Franklin Mint. A lot of direct mail, and then some people would return the card and buy their coins or buy the pewter chess set. That's, they spend direct marketing, and it's very measurable. How many come back? How many dial that 800 number? How many use that promo code, that coupon? And of course now with the internet, you're able to do measuring and tracking in pixels and email list and track everything. The pain I see nowadays is marketers that don't understand that those are two very different things. They don't think about almost separating them more than they should. They post on Instagram what should be brand marketing, telling their story, visual brand marketing, and they say, how many units did we sell from that? It's the wrong question. Avinash Kaushik has a great, he's head of digital marketing at Google. He's got a really great framework for this called See, Think, Do. If someone's, let's say they're buying a dress, See is the universe of people who buy dresses. Think is the universe of people who buy dresses who are thinking they might want one. Maybe the season's changing, or their friend commented about their wardrobe, or they had a job change. Do is they're typing anthropology into the Google search. They're on a mission to buy soon. You want to create different types of marketing at different stages, because right after I buy a Mercedes, the BMW display ad really doesn't do much for me, but it's starting to plant the seed that maybe 5 years when I'm ready for a new car, right? And people talk about pushing the customer down the funnel. You can't push anyone. They're in the spot they're in. You can talk to them, you can guide them, you can lead the messages, but they're going to go where they want to go.
Is it a big leap to say, so the car business is a great example because on average I think it's 42 months, give or take, where North Americans turn over a new vehicle, which means using that framework you just described, people might be in the pull the trigger, do it, 1 week out of 42 months type thing. And so there's so much direct marketing being pounded at people who are not even in the consideration stage or the action stage to actually make that purchase. So my point is that if I understand you correctly, there's so much that can be done in terms of brand marketing to an audience that isn't even in a position to buy right now.
Absolutely. And one of the things that I work with companies on is figuring out what's the pie chart of 100%. What's your split of brand marketing and direct? Because right now people jumble it all and they get lost in the chasm. In the beginning, when you're just starting out, when you're a new company or a new business, or let's say revenue's under $500,000, you need to do direct marketing. You need to find your customers. I always say it goes from 0 to 1, 1 to 10. That's a whole different phase of your company and your growth and your marketing and your startup. 10 customers to 100 customers, 100 customers to 1,000 customers. Those are your first big 4 phases. Once you have 1,000 separate customers or accounts or businesses paying you money, you've reached a certain level of growth. And then you want to start thinking about brand marketing. How do you build a brand, et cetera, et cetera. Doesn't mean that you don't need a good looking website and you want to build trust and things like that when you're below 1,000 customers. But take like Colgate toothpaste, right? You don't get on the Colgate email list. They just have to do brand marketing everywhere and they hope that you buy toothpaste, and over time it works. Colgate is an example of a brand that might be 95, 99% brand marketing and 1% direct marketing, right? CPG, the bigger the brand, the more their brand marketing. The smaller the company, brand matters, and as you talk about, brand is not a logo, it's how they make the company feel. Even as a small company, you want to make the companies feel good, but you better be measuring revenue, customer lifetime value, emails, however you measure it for your company.
So with respect to the difference between direct marketing, brand marketing, I always say direct is very transactional, it's short term, and it's measurable and designed to get immediate results. Brand marketing, more long term, not measurable, and very much relational.
Absolutely.
In the case of the 40-year-old Mercedes customer. If you're a small business, if you're a medium-sized business, what do you think going forward? The 3 things that are most top of mind that you need to be aware of. If you're CEO, if you're in charge of marketing for a small to medium-sized business, trying to wade through all of this jargon and with respect to positioning and packaging, what's the concrete here, Clay, in terms of what do you think people need to know?
Think of the smallest universe of who exactly your product or service is for. Think of it like a bullseye with concentric circles. Small businesses waste way too much money trying to spread the word. Anytime you hear the phrases, we just need to get the word out, we need to get more eyeballs, we need to spread the word, we need to blast this out. Those are all words that sort of communicate this like big scatter shot. We're just trying to reach everybody. Being small is an advantage, because when you're small, you should know exactly who your customer is, why they buy what they buy. So if you only have 5 customers, that's not a bad thing. That's a great thing, because you get to figure out, and I like to not talk about demographics. It's not that they're 36 years old and they're white and they live in the suburbs. It's psychographics. It's how they feel, how they think, and what are the stories they tell themselves about their worldview and why they might buy your product. Focus 100% of your efforts and your story and your marketing. Talk to your customers more. Don't guess with larger marketing campaigns. Talk to them. If they're telling their friends, you're going to grow like crazy. If they're not telling their friends, you need to figure out why. But focus on that inner core of the bullseye, because to expand to the next core and the next core and the next core and the people that are not exactly like your customers, they're going to spread that message for you. And if they're not, that's your marketing opportunity, is figure out how to create what I call a portable story. How do I give you the story of, Yeti, $billion cooler brand, came out of nowhere, right under Coleman's nose. Coleman, cooler brand, but you and I can go to Walmart, get a Coleman cooler for $30. A Yeti costs 10 times that much. They're both coolers, that plastic boxes that keep our food and our beer cold. But Yeti created a story that our cooler is grizzly proof. You don't need your cooler to be grizzly proof, but it's a story worth telling, and apparently that story is worth 10x the price of a Coleman. So if you're a small business, figure out, what's your story? Why would someone pay more for you?
That's fantastic insight in terms of starting with the bullseye, knowing exactly who your customer is, and letting the story, if you will, take on an organic life of its own. Clay, thanks so much for doing this.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
As always, Clay Hebert joining us here, and some essential ingredients in terms of understanding the difference between direct marketing and brand marketing, and how your enterprise can take advantage of all these opportunities to reinvent and recreate the business, the brand, and the career that you deserve.